Hello and welcome to UK Horror Scene. I'm Tony and this is the crew. It's just us boys and we're out of the room. Look, we're running free. Well, not running because of health and safety issues, but if we could run, we would. Maybe not run, maybe walk slowly, although that can be dangerous as well. I broke 2 toes walking. But hey, this is not what we're here about. We are here to talk to Mr. Eric Elick, who is a composer, a fantastic composer. He's taken time out of Fright Fest to come and chat to us today, along with Scott Lyus, who we've met before. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures of the night, give us a round of applause and some screams! Round of applause for Eric Elick, please, guys.
Thank you.
Eric Elick. And you don't have to applaud for him, but we pulled Scott Lyus back as well. We pulled both the guys. I don't applaud him. He milks it. He doesn't stop talking. He's always like, I got the loudest applause out of any of the guests. He rated it. He had a little sound bar on and everything. But we pulled him out of Fright Fest, guys. We pulled him out of Fright Fest to especially come and meet us. Eric, all the way from LA. I mean, come on, that's probably the furthest anybody's ever travelled, actually.
Far.
You thought you travelled far.
I thought I travelled far from Essex, yeah.
I heard there's someone
Eric
from Australia, so they beat me, I think.
No, we haven't. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember that guest. Oops. Anyway, yeah, so Eric's here. How's Fright Fest going, guys, first of all?
Oh, it's been an amazing time.
Stunning.
A lot of socializing, a lot of great films.
Hell of a lot of socialising. Great meeting people. Maybe too much socialising. Me and Erica made it 2 nights, getting in at about 5 a.m. So that's
yeah. No, was last night your cheese and chips night?
That was the night before. 2 nights ago was our
Uh-huh.
hunt for cheese and chips.
How did that go? Was it successful?
It was unsuccessful.
It was unsuccessful.
Everything was closed by the time we got out.
But you did find it yesterday.
Yes,
a
the
day
next
late.
day I had to get a special order of chips and then ask for the cheese, and they were able to accommodate me. So.
Pleased to hear it. You actually had a film premiere, didn't you? A film that you composed, which was
2 films,
Egomaniac.
actually.
2 films.
Two.
One
Look at
feature and
that.
one short.
Oh,
So-
yeah, of course it was, because Damon's as well.
Yes.
So you've done
Mhm.
Egomaniac and Disassociative. Is that right? Of course, yeah.
Yes,
So a
you got
feature
the name
and a short.
good.
Yeah, well, I've seen Disassociative. It's very good.
Awesome.
I haven't seen
Glad you liked
Egomaniac,
it.
but I've heard wonderful things
Very
about
good.
Egomaniac.
I'm sure
Very,
you'll
very
catch
good.
it sometimes.
Yeah, no, I will. We've had Kate on the show, actually. She's
Yeah.
marvellous. She's
Oh,
amazing.
yes, I love
talent.
Kate.
Egomaniac is very, very good. So
Yeah, is that...
Yeah.
I mean, if we were going to cause a fight,
No,
which would you say was the best out of Egomaniac and Disassociative?
They are completely different projects. So, obviously, with the feature film, I was actually able to go with a lot of different genres and styles with the compositional process.
Yeah.
So you have mariachi music, you have emotional piano music, you have orchestral music. It goes everywhere. So that was very fun from a composing standpoint,
Yeah.
and also challenging. But I'm happy with the end result. And with Dissociative, I mean, it's just a short film. So.
Yeah.
I was very happy with what I was able to do. He wanted strings in it, and so I was able to really work with from a string angle on that.
Do you have a different approach to a short film and a feature?
Well, the feature takes a lot more planning than a
Yeah.
short might. You have to still plan for both, but getting all the beats, like getting a beat sheet and deciding where we want music for the feature, and it's just like the short is just on a smaller level, but you still have hopefully an emotional trajectory that you want to communicate through the music, and then just what kind of concept you want to come up with for the feature, because you want to have the score have some continuity in it, so you have to make sure, even if you do have a varied score,
Yeah.
that there's still some continuity and it makes sense that it's all in the same film.
Yeah, I mean, what do you enjoy? I mean, I guess you enjoy doing the feature more because you get time to build on themes. And
I love both. I mean, my end goal would
I'm just trying to stir up trouble for Damon, aren't I? Really?
yeah,
Damon will be on the phone
trying to get me in
to-
trouble here. No,
Damon's okay. He's short got the biggest round of applause in the short film showcase.
Well,
so-
Disassociative is
so
great.
It's a
film.
great short, and yeah, it went down. Like I said, it went down better than any other short in the showcase. So yeah.
Thank you. Glad you
Stunning.
guys liked
really,
it.
really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I love doing both. My end goal would be to do primarily features, but I'll probably always do shorts. Because a short, you can do just something completely different, but not be committed for a long period of time. So it's a nice little break.
Yeah.
But yeah, ideally the end goal is to do feature films most of the time.
How long would it take to compose a score for a short, say, for Disassociative?
That one took probably in a weekend. I put that together.
And how does that process work? I mean, I don't know if you're interested in this as well, because I mean, obviously you get
Of course,
films,
of course,
obviously
yeah.
all the films need music,
Yeah.
but does it like suddenly just come to you? Do you like have like a theme just suddenly pop into your head, or maybe have a thing that was sitting there before and you're thinking, what will I use that for?
Well, I've done that actually with Rats, directed by Mark Logan.
Which is also getting really good praise on the festival circuit at the moment. Did that play in?
It world premiered at Starburst on Saturday night.
The main theme I actually composed about 2 years ago. I was like, I'm going to use this one day. And so I held on to it, and then Rats came up, and I was like, this is going to be perfect for this. And then everything else was kind of based around that. And so that one was just like a stream of consciousness song. I had actually sent it to another filmmaker like 2 years ago, but I never got a response. So,
Oh,
but I
wow.
did end up using.
Stupid filmmaker.
Wow.
Don't tell us who it is later.
I did end up being able to use it because I really liked it. But the process is you have a spotting session, so you're sitting down with the director. Usually, since I live in LA, it's going to be through Skype, and you're just discussing where you want, what's the emotional trajectory, what's the story, what's the vision of the director, what is his ideas for the music, and then I'll bring my own ideas and what I think will work and where will silence be most effective, and you just get all those points nailed down so you're on the same page, and then I'll go off and do the score and come back and see. Hopefully they like it, and. But when I get to actual composing process, I try to keep the thinking mind out of it. It's very intuitive, and I just really try to go deep into the characters and the storyline and just see what comes up. So it's very stream of consciousness initially with the raw writing, and then afterwards, once I feel like I have what I'm wanting to go with or what's right for the film, then I'll maybe bring in the analytical mind to kind of clean it up and orchestrate it out from there, because I usually will compose on piano, depending on, obviously, like with the Damon's short, it was just all on strings, so there was no piano, but if I'm doing themes and working out things, I'll think them out on the piano first to really get the right feel that I want, and then orchestrate it out.
Yeah. How many instruments do you play then?
I play the piano, however, with the computers and my studio computer, you have all these different sounds that you can use, and then I just program those in.
You have to excuse all the ambient noise. They're just clearing out the bottles from Scott's room.
Horribly true. Horribly true. Yeah.
He doesn't go to sleep when he gets in at 5 o'clock and I'm like,
That's the problem. Yeah. Yeah.
Rate the minibar, rate the minibar. But you play a number of other instruments. I mean, you
No,
primarily.
just that one I've studied, because as a composer you need to be familiar with what instruments can actually do, so you're not writing things that don't make sense for that instrument. You want to, because you're going, at least I try to go for realism, and when I'm producing music, and unless you have the budget for a real orchestra or live musicians, you have to, there's a lot going into the programming process to try to recreate that realism.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it must be quite hard. There's
it's quite a bit of work.
I've forgotten the name of the composer. There's a video, that film, Bubba Hotep,
Bubba Hotep, yeah.
which is a great film.
Yeah.
What's the name? Who's the guy who composed that? Just lost it. But he's pretty good anyway. I love the theme for Bubba Hotep. But there's a behind-the-scenes video, and he's basically playing all the fucking instruments. He's just, he's like adding them bit by bit, but he's playing all the instruments. It's a great theme, the Bubba Hotep theme, which kind of brings me to the next question now, which is there a particular theme that you'd like to be remembered for as your signature of all the music that you've composed so far? So like John Williams would have Star Wars and Jaws, and is there anything that you're particularly proud of?
Well,
I'm sure you
the most
them, but.
well, the most often feedback that I get from directors that they are impressed with my range and the diversity of my body of work, and that, for instance, Kate needed someone that was flexible and able to do a lot of different styles of music for Egomaniac, and so that was working in my favor with her. But that's been echoed by other directors as well, that I can do the whole range of different types of styles for music and score.
So
100%. I completely agree with that. Actually, I was saying to Eric the other night that what I really love about his body of work so far is it is a body of work. There's a lot of filmmakers and there is a lot of composers and stuff like that, and they have some great work, they have great films, but they might be like the same. It kind of, and then when you go away, it kind of feels like one big film or you know, one big piece of work, because it isn't too dissimilar to everything else they've done.
Yeah.
And what I really love about Eric's is you remember the individual films because they're all different. So, you know, with what he done with Damon's latest one, it's nothing like with Egomaniac, you know, and as soon as Egomaniac starts, you've got the title come up and Eric's score over it, and it's fantastic. And that is nothing in no way, shape or form to what Eric done for Emma Dark Season Night, which is one of my favourite soundtracks he's done. It's a stunning soundtrack.
Thank you.
But yeah, that body of work, and that's quite unique. That for me, there isn't that many composers out there that are doing something so varied, kind of in the same genre as well, like kind of staying in the horror thriller genre, but not keeping your work all the same. It's very hard. So.
And Seize the Night, that soundtrack. Oh, there's Wally the Werewolf. Wally the Werewolf has followed us around. Seize the Night, the soundtrack is available to purchase.
Yes.
Online.
Yep. Since August 5th, Seize the Night is available. You can purchase from my website, ericelickmusic.com, or any major distributor, Amazon, iTunes. All the major ones are carrying it.
And we'll put the links as always below so you can check it out. And it is actually, I mean, I've seen Seize the Night, and the soundtrack is excellent on that, and the music on
Thank you.
Disassociative is
yeah,
very good.
it's stunning.
And I mean, and as if his ego is not going to get big enough, but Eric is probably you're probably one of the most prolific name I see pop up within the circuit. Actually,
Without doubt. Without doubt.
I mean, your name just seems to be attached to everything, and it's
Without
been.
doubt.
I think Elliot Maguire. You're going to be working with Elliot, aren't
Yes,
you?
yes.
On Follow the Leaders. I love
Yes.
Elliot's a cracking guy. Hey Elliot, cracking guy.
Elliot.
Just in case he's watching. Oh, I love Elliot. He's a wonderful guy. Really charming and funny. No, he is actually. He's a really nice bloke, and Follow the Leader sounds fantastic. It sounds like it's going to be a
That
great
sounds
film. So
great.
do look
Sounds
out
great,
for that.
I read the script. I can't wait
Yeah,
to
don't
work
say
on
anything.
it.
Don't know too much about it. Don't spoil
I
it.
love it. I can't wait to start on it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, and that was you, I think. Did you?
In
mention-
a
Yeah.
way, I'll let Eric tell that. That's not. I will
No.
not take all credit, but no, Eric, we talk quite a lot over Facebook and stuff, and we had a conversation one night where he was aware that Elliot was looking for crew members and stuff like that, and I was aware that actually Elliot was looking for a composer, and being a big fan of Eric's work, I went straight to Elliot and said, not only consider this guy, but fucking hire this guy. Like, this is the way to go. And then I found out when everyone else found out, and I was amazed to see that post from Elliot saying you'll be doing it. So yeah,
Have
I
you
love
ever?
it.
Thank you.
Have you ever scored any of Scott's films? Has he ever asked you to? No.
Hasn't,
Well,
unfortunately.
he has a really good composer already,
Yeah,
from
no.
what I
Oh, thank
understand.
you.
Awkward.
Yeah, we've had this
Not awkward
conversation.
at all.
We've had this
No.
conversation.
There's plenty of work to
Eric,
go
it's all
around.
right, don't defend him. no. Scott's worked with your composer for a while. So
I
it's,
have Ed Harris, the guy that composes my
And
films,
he has done a good job
every
on this
single one of my films. So that's the only. I would love to work with Eric, but I love.
Well, hey,
Ed.
we've got a project that we've been talking about for a while, so there might be
That's true.
a chance.
That's true.
I'll put that over to crew. Ivan, you got any questions?
I do.
Ivan's taking his headphones off. He has to stand up now because it's Ivan.
I need to get close to the mic. Hi, I'm Ivan, Mr. Murrayville, 5 years in a row. Ivan TROOPA, by the way. I was just wondering, what movie franchise or movie would you like to rescore if you could? Any genre?
Oh my god.
On that note, actually, before you answer, another thing I want to get out there to check out Eric's work is he actually rescores. You kind of do trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
don't you?
Born.
Yeah.
You've done Born.
Yeah, I did the board.
Which is amazing, and that shows talent.
Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, I also have loved that the horror community has opened their arms to me, but I don't consider myself a horror composer, and I think that's kind of based on where I have all that versatility in my score. I've been writing all types of music since the late '90s, so just wanted to touch on that a little bit. But I'm sorry, I'm really tired running on views.
Fine, man,
What's
don't
the
worry, it's
question
fine.
again?
It was like if you could score,
rescore.
if you could rescore any movie.
Oh my gosh, because all the really great soundtracks to movies I like. Actually, I would
Well,
love
there
to.
must
An
be one that you
opportunity.
think,
Lady
"Ah,
Hawk.
crap, we can do that better."
Lady Hawk, because that has like.
Lady Hawk. I love Lady Hawk.
Yeah, but
Rutger Hauer and
it's
Michelle
known for
Pfeiffer.
really bad scores.
Yeah.
So, but I love the movie, and I would love to rescore that.
Yeah.
That
Is
that
there-
deserves it. That's a great
Yeah.
show.
Where you say that you don't consider yourself a horror composer, but you work within a horror thriller genre.
Right.
That's very similar to me. I don't consider myself a horror thriller filmmaker, even though that's all I've made. But that's because, like, when you speak to most guys in horror and girls in horror, their influence are directly in horror, where mine is a lot more from classic Hollywood and stuff. Would you say that's the same? You actually take inspiration outside of horror and bring it in?
Right, absolutely. And you can also inject new ideas into
Definitely,
scores. That
definitely.
way, I think, if you can kind of take from different genres and then try to bring them together somehow.
I think maybe for me that is why your stuff's so unique and so good, because it's
it does
not,
reflect.
you're not just doing a horror score. You're not going, oh, okay, I need to ramp the music up here and I need to do this, and I think you are doing it based on the film, but taking influences from elsewhere, not just your classic or even modern day horror, which scores in modern day horror is not great.
Unless the picture is requiring it, I avoid cliche or obvious way of doing things, if at all possible, and try to be innovative with what I'm doing. So it's a lot more work, but it pushes you as an artist.
No, it's good, and I think your work does actually, your soundtracks do actually feel quite different to what you'd expect from a horror soundtrack. It doesn't sound like it's been pigeonholed at all. It doesn't feel that style. It's good, but and it works really well. But yeah, do check out the rescores like on The Bourne and Star Trek Beyond, because they are actually
They're
pretty
really
cool.
good.
Very
They're
cool,
really good.
And it really does show off your style or your breadth.
Thank you.
Style.
You can
It's very,
find
very good.
you can find it all on my website. That's
And
like
we will put
my
the
hub.
links.
That's my hub of everything. You can
Yeah,
all-
cool.
All my social
Cool.
media
He's
is on there.
He's a talented guy, because we only have talented people on this show. We don't have any dross or crap,
Thank
you
you.
know. Or at least,
you.
most of it's good. No, they're good. It's the crew. Talking about the crew, Antoine, do you have a question?
Hi, Antoine, photography cameraman. My question would be, who would be your dream filmmaker to work with?
Dream
Scott.
filmmaker. Oh my gosh, dream filmmaker at the independent level or like Hollywood studio level?
Whichever.
Oh God. You know what? The dream
Well, let's say
filmmaker.
let's say Hollywood studio level. So don't embarrass him.
Well, really, it's any director that I would consider a friend that I have developed a good relationship with. That would be the dream type of working relationship, having that personal connection with them, because that's what I found to work the best. If you're just strictly hired on just as a composer, like work for hire type of thing, it's a lot less satisfying as an artist. Whereas when you're collaborating and working with the director closely and you have an underlying friendship already, it makes the process much more enjoyable, and it's more of a team effort and a really good collaboration. So any director that falls into that, which have been all the directors that I've worked with, are pretty much, that's the best gig you can get.
I mean, are there no directors that you watch a movie? Like, say you mentioned Lady Hawk, that's the movie you'd like to rescore. I don't know, movies like that you watch it and you think, I wish I
Is there a big name director?
Big name?
Yeah, is there someone out there in
like
Hollywood
a Ridley
which
Scott
you're
or a
thinking?
Spielberg or someone like that?
I mean, I would take any of those.
Of course.
Any of
course.
those. Yeah, it'd be an awesome
Yeah,
opportunity.
he's ready and available because he loves you all.
Exactly. So Spielberg, if you're watching, forget John Williams. Forget that. That's done.
He's getting old anyway.
Exactly.
He needs to
That's
retire.
done.
You need to move on to someone else.
He's got enough Oscars. He doesn't need any more.
Scott, have you got any more questions for Mr. Elick?
Yeah, it's a kind of the obvious question, but I think it's a good one to kind of wrap up on. What's next?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what
there's
are
a
you
lot
doing?
coming down the chute here. So, Elliot Maguire's feature, Follow the Leader, is coming out next year. Also, the new film by Emma Dark, Salient Minus 10. That's going to be shooting in a few weeks. And then that'll be coming out sometime next year. Also, I Bake to Make Cake, written by Samantha Kolsnick and directed by Vanessa Ionta Wright, which is a Pennsylvania-based production company. I'll be doing that. There's some other projects also that I'm in discussion for, but not quite solidified yet, so
Not
we'll
there
see.
yet.
Yeah, they'll be announced maybe later this year if they work out.
quite cool.
Gosh, I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Are you looking?
Oh, Jack the Lad, directed by
Tom,
Tom
yeah.
Gordon.
Tom Gordon of the tour, the package, and the latest one that debuted
Right, yeah.
at Fright Fest. Yeah, so really, really great guy. It's going to be great.
Associative,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great to see him
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
the camera and
He's worked on all of Damon's
Yeah,
films.
he has, hasn't he? Yeah.
So
Great
basically
actor.
everything. I mean, like basically, if you're into horror and you're watching independent horror movies, Eric fucking Elick is everywhere. He's everywhere. His name's nearly on every freaking film. It will be in the future.
It
but,
is.
But there is a good reason for it, and that is because you are bloody good, mate.
Thank
you.
you.
You are very
Thank
good.
you.
And I think you touched on it. You know, your music, it is very widespread. It
Oh, it's
doesn't,
brilliant. It's really,
you don't
really
crack
good.
yourself. It's not just about
Yeah.
adventure beats.
Really, really
you
good.
are,
Thank
you are
you.
very, very diverse in your talent. I hate talented people. They just make you
Well, Damon had shot 2 other shorts with Dissociative, so those are going to be coming out at some point. So
There
So
you
that
go.
will be real fun actually when that comes around. Yeah.
Yeah, and Disassociative is a good film. It is very good. And then we were talking to Chris Knowles earlier as well. He had to leave and go back to watch another film. I mean, come on, why would you want to watch a film instead of chat to me? and the boys, come on.
and then also coming out of Japan, Japanese Legends, which is a series that's going to be directed by Pablo Cento, she did She. I saw that last year with her actually, and that's where we met in San Diego. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
So no, but like I said, Egomania is getting great reviews. It's I mean, like I've seen stuff on Twitter. The reviews are just amazing for it. So congratulations
Thank you.
on being connected to that. Disassociative, similar thing. You know, it's a very good film.
Thank you.
But basically everything. I mean, I'm sure every filmmaker will be looking to have you on board because even the weakest film benefits from a fantastic score. I mean,
Oh,
you know,
without
I mean,
a doubt. It's such a huge part of, you know, it's one of the oldest, most essential parts of film, you know, before we even had dialogue in films, but we still had a score, you know, and the music in a way is such a way of telling that story. And I like to think that a good film, you could strip away all the dialogue, you could strip away all the rest of the audio, go back to that day and age where you had an image, you had a score, and that story still plays. So that's, for me, if you can block down a good composer and block down someone like Eric, that's really important. If you can find a composer that can tell a story, for me that's the same in any crew member, you know, I don't think any member of your crew, anyone that's in that, is just there to do a certain job. You know, your cinematographer is there to tell a story as well, and you know that. goes for the
there's a
same
lot of
with-
levels, and it works
with
on all the
composer.
levels, doesn't it? So you need a good script, you need good visuals, and then you've got that
Definitely.
music. And like you said, that music, if you get the right composer, then the music itself tells that story on a completely different.
It's so
layout.
important to the fact where there's plenty of films and we've all seen them and we love them, and you can have cinematography it's not great and we'll kind of accept it. And even in a way with bad cinematography, you might look at it and think it's a creative choice. You might have some bad acting, and again, you know, you might sit through it and it's fine. And you know, the direction might not be great, but again, you might get something out of that film. You go in and the music doesn't hit you, it doesn't really do anything for you, and the music can just kill a film as well. So having that music there and having that good is maybe more essential than anything else, because that is the number one thing that can kill a film. It's also another thing that will save the film and really lift the film up. So yeah, for me it's hugely important. So I know there's plenty of other filmmakers that I speak to.
No pressure, then.
No pressure.
No pressure, right?
I think there's a good balance between the visuals as well as the sound. Not just the music, but also the sound design is really important. Because if you have that messed up, then it's really distracting.
On that note, so
really
what is
distracting.
do you have a relationship with any of the sound designers on any of your films?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On Egomaniac.
Yeah.
We just call him Hyde, but James Hyde, he's really easy to work with,
Yeah.
and I was in communication with him.
Because you're right, I think that is quite an important, you know, I've had it on my films where I'm lucky enough that because I try and work with the same team all the time, they now have a relationship in themselves where that sound design has to kind of match the score a little bit, and they have to you can't have one totally out of left field and then another one this way, you know. I think they do have to complement each other, don't they?
Otherwise, they can muddy each other up. So
Exactly,
there has to be
yeah.
some kind of coordination.
Yeah, cool. I think we are running out of time, though. Eric, it has been an absolute pleasure, man.
My
Thank you so
pleasure,
much.
thank you.
And it's really, really lovely to meet you
Yeah,
after all this
likewise.
time. Yeah. Thanks for well, thanks to Scott for coming along as well. It's all right. Scott knows I love him really. He's a cracking filmmaker, and really kind of you to come along and take your time out.
And a
of
great person.
Disney Festival. He's a lovely guy. Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun this week.
Yeah, we have.
We've had a lot of fun.
It's been great. But please check out Eric's stuff. Again, the links will be there below. Please check his stuff out. He is a really, really, really talented guy. Really talented, and I think you're going to go places, Eric. And check out the channel, subscribe, show us a little bit of love for UK horror scene, Fright site. We love you just a little bit. Thanks very much for joining us, Scott Lyus and Eric Elick.
Thank you.